rather gloomy day, New Year's Day, 2016. The castle over there, Harlech Castle, and just a short walk, nothing exciting. Half a mile down here, then half a mile up through the woodland. Now, through there, it's after a month of very mild weather, December, we have over there, I don't know if you can see, the snow-capped Snowdon. All Harlech is clear of snow. So the snow level is roughly 3,000 feet. And down there is lower Harlech. There's a chapel on the hillside and a chapel on the side of the road. There's a miscellaneous design of houses. This secondary road is very quiet on this morning, before 10 o'clock, New Year's Day. So there should be no problem walking down here. One feature about walking instead of driving is that you see little sights like this monkey tree that you really never notice when you're driving by, but it's quite noticeable when you walk. Of course, there's the famous Harlech Castle, the new bridge going into the entrance. You just come a few feet further along, and here's a corridor. There's a little path that goes down steeply down to the bottom there through that woodland. Some nice old-fashioned cottages on the side of this quiet secondary road on this morning, New Year's Day. There's the wooded hill slope on this hillside, just outside Harlech. There's another footpath going down through those woods. It looks like it's passable. It's steep steps, and there's those cottages. Basically, you only have crows for company on this. It is a wintry morning, or average wintry day. Temperature about just over 40 degrees. And here's some walk these roadside cottages. This one telescopic, there's Father Christmas looking down on me. He's ready to go down that chimney on that house. There's that house, the frontal view. Quite a sizable house. We'll be walking on a footpath behind it shortly, a little bit further down here. Another roadside cottage. I think this is the last of the roadside cottages on this side. I'll be looking at on this walk. This is where I turn off the road and go up this footpath over there. It's not like a code fluid. I think there's the footpath that runs all the way along through that wood. I haven't never been along it, so I'll go back to where I parked the car in Harlech by going through this footpath, and I start ascending back up the hill. And there's an information board for the woodland. Internationally important Mariana oak woods. I don't know if you can hear the Harlech train is running along there, and this path runs parallel to the road for roughly, and gradually ascending. Now, for a change, it's not threatening rain, and I hadn't planned on doing this, but there is a footpath that goes up there, and it ends up some kind of a Bronze Age remains, a settlement of some kind, higher up on the hillside. Now, I've never been up here, but I think I'll just go up here. I have plenty of time. And the footpath looks, at this stage, looks in good condition. This will be a little bit of morning exercise for me, climbing up this steep hill, but there are steps. It's someone in the past, not too distant past, quite a bit of effort into this footpath. Otherwise, it would be rough going through this hillside wood, oak wood. Unfortunately, the sun is nowhere to be spotted, so it is rather gloomy, but at least it's not raining. This path continues climbing steeply up this staircase. This first time I've been up here, and this section crosses the waterlogged section, waterlogged ground. So these steps come in handy. I've climbed about 200 feet so far from the main path, and continue on going. I'm out into the open here. I've left the oak woodland, Lower Harlech, same peninsula, and continue up this clear, well-defined footpath to these Bronze Age remains, but I never knew they were there, so whether I can actually spot them or not remains to be seen. There's Harlech Castle. It's always a plus to be able to explore new territory, and I haven't been on this path before, and it actually is a recognised footpath. It's indicated by this footpath sign here, the post with the yellow paint on the top. So somewhere along here, this path apparently goes directly to the Bronze Age remains. And here out in the open, we have good views of the Snowdonia, and here's a seat. I've really once sat on it for well, for years maybe. Now I'm out in the open, I am in the wind, so there may be some wind noise. There's the proof that we've had a lot of rain recently, or it didn't rain last night, but the whole ground is badly waterlogged. I'll put the camera away now just to negotiate these slippery stones. I left the woodland and the well-graded footpath. I'm now on a very, hardly discernible footpath, and presumably this does go to those remains, but I may not spot them. I'll just carry on here a little while longer. Oh, Harlech, quite a way above it now, several hundred feet. And there's another footpath sign. So I'm not actually on an official footpath, but this, I'll carry on going for a little bit further. I can't really, it might be difficult to spot the Bronze Age remains, unless it's like a stone circle or a burial chamber. But generally the farmers clear these fields and you have piles of rocks everywhere, so there's no way of telling really what's prehistoric and what's more up to date. Ah, there's the footpath sign up there. So if I carry on going in this direction, I will end up as a cairn circle, which I took on a previous video, and so I'll only go up a little bit further, and then I'll return, and if there is an actual separate prehistoric remains, I'll certainly try and find them on another day. This footpath, although very little used, is well signpost, and I'll just go along here, along this track, just for a little while. I don't think I'm going to spot that burial, those remains, maybe that cairn circle, which is quite a way, quite a distance in this direction, but a lot further on. So I'll just go around this corner on this farm track and to a farmhouse, and then back to the car. So it has been a longer walk than I anticipated. That isolated hillside cottage, or it might be a farm, but the cairn circle is maybe half a mile or so up there, so that's probably the Bronze Age remains they're referring to. There's certainly no sign that I could see of any prehistoric remains up to this point, so I'll now return, unfortunately, but it's been a pleasant walk for a New Year Day morning, although gloomy, but that's to be expected in the middle of a Welsh winter. So back I go on the descent, and back to Harlech. Okay, and back to that awkward section where the footpath has flooded this little stream. There was a pipe or something underneath, but it's become partially blocked This part here is definitely waterlogged. Continuing my descent. I'll be entering the woodland shortly. Lower Harlech, and of course Harlech Castle. Okay, I'm back to the main footpath after descending, so I'll be going uphill again a little bit till I get into Harlech itself, leaving the woodland called Harlech bit. And there's a junction of paths here. That one goes up the hillside. There's some hillside houses and walkers. Always nice to see. New Year's morning, day. Okay, going into the environs. Environs. Not sure how that word is pronounced. Harlech. This footpath runs parallel to the road as it goes into Harlech. I don't know if you can hear, the wind is really howling really for those trees. Coming up here now to a nice hillside house, which I've always caught my eye. And it's got an extensive hillside garden, and it actually, I think, just slightly know the occupant, the owner of that house. But I'm not sure if he's still there or he's sold up, but I have seen him a few times in the past. It's always kind of an unusual roof design. There's a good view of that house. It's probably worth some money. Not too far from the end of this walk now. See that footpath? Just come up, joins this driveway. And there's another nice house, which hidden away on the hillside. These back. Here's a chapel. May still be in use. And all these gravestones. I don't believe the cemeteries. I can't see any new graves, but there's the gravestone of someone who died in 1904, aged 5 years. And there's a more recent one. Jane Williams, 1903 to 1981. There's a family burial spot. And you can see these gravestones have been here quite some time. Most of them probably from Victorian times. There's the chapel. It overlooks Harlech Castle just down there. I won't walk around the graveyard, but this is typical of Welsh cemeteries, now in large part abandoned. I think most people now are cremated when they pass away. But the sun up there is maybe breaking through, which is always nice. I was looking at the old churchyard there, but this is the new cemetery. There's two of them. There's this one, and there's one over here as well. There's the chapel. So having burials is still popular. I won't go in there. There's the chapel overlooking the town and castle, and this house here also has a good view of the castle. Okay, I'm basically at the end of this walk now. It's been quite an enjoyable walk, 2 hours or more. You just come down there. There's a road that goes up quite a distance, up to the hillside farms. And here's the old town of Harlech, with the Harlech castle dominating. There's always caught my eye, that line of terrace cottages overlooking the castle again and town. And there's the Lion Hotel. There's the crossroads. So I'll turn right here, and that's the end of this walk.